What's up, Oshean? You got Matt here, coach of your Montreal Milotic and the commissioner of the Ocean League. It has been quite some time since we have done Game of the Week, but we are back. I apologize for the delay in the uploads here. Craziness is going down, moves are going down, work is insane, so I appreciate your guys' patience, so thank you for that. But let's go ahead and just jump into it. Of course, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video as well, and let's get excited and see what we can do here. There's going to be some two really amazing games, one from D1, one from D2, and we'll see what is going to happen. Our first game is between Froxy and Tara. Froxy is coach of the LA something, I can't remember, and then I think Tara is coach of the Buffalo Bouffalons. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure those are the two names of the teams. Their acronyms are LAT and BUF, so that's that. You look at the teams here. Froxy's team is very scary. Froxy has made some transactions that are not in effect for this week, so the team's going to reflect that. And same thing for Tara. I believe they actually made some significant transactions for both their teams, so if there is a rematch, it's going to be very, very different. Regardless, looking at it, the big thing I noticed is off the bat, Zorora just goes in. Zorora could be an auto win against this team with moves like Plasma Fist and Play Rough with Grass Knot and the Bulk Up. Then that set really just demolishes Froxy's team. Other than that, I'm looking, and Venusaur and Sun could be problematic, could be very scary to deal with. The good news for Froxy is he does have access to Priority Ice Shard. He also has the Licky Licky with Cloud9. That's very good for Froxy. In terms of Froxy, what's good for him against Tara's team, I'm looking at it, the Mega Mawile, when it comes in on something like the Hatterene, or the Mantine really, or I guess the Aromatisse, then it really is going to cause a lot of problems. It's going to break really well. If there are doubles that are made correctly, then it can cause so many problems. Honestly, a subset with Focus Punch might actually be a really good bring here, because you sub on the Hatterene being on the field. Maybe it goes into Snorlax, maybe it goes into Redisteel, fire off the Focus Punch, and it's going to do a ton of damage. Probably going to be able to kill that thing with the Focus Punch plus another move. But if you want to go for a Fire Fan, that works as well. Looking at it, let me see. Emboar is always a really strong bring. It really is. This set, the monsters do so much work with access to Wild Charge and its stab, fighting, and fire moves. It can really put in a lot of work against the team. In terms of speeds here, it's not that great here. I mean, it outspeeds a couple of common things. I believe it outspeeds Buzzwole, but outspeeds Hatterene, Redisteel, Snorlax, and Mantine as well. So that's pretty good. Honestly, if I was Froxy, I might bring like an Assault Vest set this week to take a hit from Venusaur, fire back a Sun Boosted attack, and KO it. It's going to be resisting, or it's not, well, let's try this again. It's not weak to Zorora's Plasma Fist or Play Rough, so I feel like Emboar could be really solid there. I think Emboar is a really solid bring. And then, again, in terms of Tara, I think we've seen Mega Charizard X put in a lot of work. Mega Charizard X could do the same thing over here. If a Swords Dance comes off and then like a Flame Charge set comes in, that's very, very scary and could be the game right there. So we'll see what happens, guys. That is going to be it for the team builder portion. If I had to actually, let's add to it. If I had to predict what 6 would be coming from both sides, I would say Mega Mawile, I would say Latias, I would say Rotom Wash, I would say Mamoswine, Emboar, and Licky Licky. I think those are really solid brings there. So yeah, the first 3, the Mamoswine, Licky Licky, and Emboar. And in terms of Terra side, definitely Zorora, definitely Mega Charizard. I think I want to say Sun comes because it's so good, but Vulpix is just so bad, so I don't think Sun is going to come. So I'll say Zorora, Mega Charizard X. We'll say Redisteel as a way to check the Latias and a way to at least beat down the Mega Mawile and Crobat. That's 3. Let's see, I can see Hatterene coming for sure. That's 4. I think that Claydol is decent here because it's an immunity to ground that you don't want to get spammed ground moves against. But honestly, Buzzwole could just do the same thing against Mamoswine. So I think Buzzwole, so we'll say the first 3 is Zorora, Buzzwole, Hatterene, Redisteel, Mega Charizard, and then I'll say Mantine, because I think Mantine actually has a really good niche here as being a really good specially defensive Pokemon. Again, immune to the ground moves as well, and with Roost now it's so much better. So it's also a Defogger in case the Shuckle comes, so I think those are going to be the 6 that come on Terra side. But let's go ahead and jump into it. Let's see what he's going to bring as I'm going to pull up. Okay, so I see what he brings. Boom, there we go. So interesting. We see the brings are different than I expected. Shuckle is here, which is interesting, but so is the Vulpix. Now, the fact that the Claydol is here, is huge, and the reason for that is because if it's running Rapid Spin, then Shuckle is going to be neutralized completely, and then it will be basically a wasted bring on Froxy's part. On the other hand, I'm surprised to see no Mega Mawile. That is very, very surprising. Definitely could be, it could be a big deal. The problem with that is, again, Mega Venusaur gets Earth Power and Weather Ball in the Sun. I'm pretty sure Vulpix will outspeed it as well. Charizard obviously is problematic and will OHKO it back. And yeah, I can see based on the 6 that he brought that Mega Mawile wouldn't be necessarily the best bring in the world, but it still could have some uses. Zoroark could be very scary if he manages to hide it correctly on something like the Mamoswine. And last time around, if you guys missed week 3, we actually didn't correctly assess what was Zoroark and what wasn't. So we're going to try and do that this time around. But I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to just take a sip of water quickly and we'll just jump right into it. So leads are going to be Shuckle against the Zorora. Now, is Shuckle going to be a Zoroark? Well, it doesn't look like it based off that, so I imagine maybe Webs or Rocks are going to come out, and it looks like it's going to be Webs instead. So, not bad start for Froxy, but in comes the Rapid Spin, and that's going to get rid of the Webs here, as I imagine. Oh, a Shell Smash. I love Shell Smash Contrary Crustle, by the way. I love it. But no, what was that? Okay, let's pause it. That was... Okay, let's explain what that was. That was Eject Pack Shuckle to lower its stats so it can get out into a better matchup. Interesting. I don't know why you just wouldn't switch out. Okay, I was saying like I love Shell Smash Crustle because I love Contrary Shell Smash Crustle. It's a not Crustle, but Shuckle. It's a really cool set, but I'm very, very surprised. Anyways, let's go ahead and continue on. It's the Rotom against the Claydol. I imagine the Claydol is going to switch out as it goes into the Venusaur. Here, Venusaur does resist both stabs, as we're going to see a Copycat comes out, and we're going to see a Shell Smash. Wow. Okay. Okay. And it's the Zoroark. Wow. Oh my god, that was incredible. Froxy, what? Okay, so if you guys don't know, Froxy has a channel, and he's really rising up there in subscribers, and he brings a lot of random sweep sets, and this might be the set that sweeps, but Jesus, that is a Copycat Zoroark disguised as a Rotom to get into the Venusaur. That Copycat, wow, that is beautiful. I might have to steal that. Wow, that is incredible. I'm like, that is insane. Insane. Great bring, great bring. Let's click resume here, as I imagine it's going to be a Plasma Fist as a Dark Pulse comes in and as outspeeds. Is this going to be a sweep? Down goes the Zorora. I think this is just going to be game over here. In comes Charizard. It's not going to take a Dark Pulse, is it? It's not. Dark Pulse comes out. It survives. So a wasted, wow, it sucks. That ends up being, and Sash. Oh, great bring. Great bring with the Sash there. It ends up being a wasted Zorora there. Insane. Dark Pulse comes out, gets the KO on the Vulpix here. What is going to come in here? Nothing's going to appreciate taking this hit. It's Sun Boosted now. Like, Red Steel's not going to take this. It's just not. Protect. What is that going to do? I don't understand. This is going to be a game. Well, this is a 6-0, isn't it? You guys give me a 6-0 for another game. And, I mean, last time I think we had a really crazy game and it ended up pretty one-sided. But we're getting this game because of Copycat Zoroark. Incredible. Way to go. Wow, what a set. What a set. I'm honestly, I can't say anything about it. That's incredible. Wow, okay, not really much to analyze here, but other than saying, what a creative and great bring. I love that. I love that. I honestly might have to steal that. And guys, I think I can say, let's take a look and make sure. I actually have, I believe, I have a team with Zoroark and Shuckle on it. So we're going to see. Froxy, great bring. Tara, unfortunately that it happened to you, but hey, when someone comes in, it takes advantage and just does something like that, incredible. Well done. Well done. I can definitely appreciate how cool that set is. But anyways, guys, that is going to be it for this battle. I don't really have anything to say. Let's try and see how Tara could have stopped this potentially. I don't know the calcs, but maybe especially defensive Registeel might have been able to take a flamethrower if there was no sun up. I guess +2, it probably wouldn't, to be honest, but if that could have been done, then maybe that was a way out. But honestly, the Sash was a great bring, protecting against the OHKO from the Charizard. I love that. Honestly, based on what we just saw there, it might have been better to run Dreadplate, because Dreadplate would have OHKO'd the Charizard. So incredible. Geez, I don't think there's really an out for him, because he would have broke half his team at least, and the game would have been over from there because he wouldn't be able to beat down the Mamoswine. Mamoswine was just going to run house. Incredible. Way to go to get it into the Rotom to make him think, okay, what's going to be safe here? Probably the red steel, probably going to be the Charizard maybe, or maybe even the Venusaur. Those are the safe things. And instead, he fakes him out. Wow, way to go. I'm honestly, I'm very impressed. Way to go. Nice play. Moving on though, let's go ahead and jump into the next matchup as I just pull up that next screen, and boom, there we go. All right, so this next matchup is against PV Bro and Sparrow. PV is coach of, I believe it's the Delhi Pulse, and then Sparrow, I believe, is coach of the LA Lux Rays, I think it is. So yeah, let's just go ahead and jump into what this matchup is going to be like as I quickly move over some things. So this matchup, looking at it, again, we have another Mega Mawile team. We'll see if Mega Mawile comes this time around against a Heracross, and I see a Whimsicott. Now, Whimsicott is a really interesting way to handle PV's team because it honestly has so many different support options. Obviously, if PV manages to go for a Sludge Wave on the Zygarde and catches it, then it's going to be dangerous. But Whimsicott passing around Toxics, firing off Moonblast is going to be very scary. It basically neutralizes the Scrafty, makes sure that it's not going to come, especially the fact that it has also a Gardevoir on that team. In terms of big threats to PV's team, excuse me, big threats to PV's team. Wow, Dracozolt is problematic because, I mean, you look at it, Voltbeak is incredibly powerful. It really is strong, and the fact that it is also a Dragon type means it can wear down the Zygarde, which is his only ground type for the Regieleki. And I get Marowak does get access to Lightning Rod, but Marowak isn't going to appreciate taking a Crunch or a Dragon Claw or an Outrage or something, so I can definitely see that coming. At the same time, Marowak is kind of hard-walled by Gastrodon unless it's running Toxic. And if it's running Toxic, then it's missing out on a move. And if Sparrow manages to get up rocks with the Gigalith or with the Corsola, excuse me, then it could be very, very dangerous. Also, Galvantula could be scary. With access to webs, it'll make so the Alakazam isn't outspeeding everything other than the Regieleki. I'm thinking that the big threats, I don't know why there's a Wingull there, by the way. There's a Wingull there, I don't know why. Whatever. Sparrow's team, honestly, is very threatening. If there are webs up, then honestly, Heracross might just be able to go in, because I'm pretty sure Heracross can just demolish everything here based on the fact that it gets access to Skill Link and the fact that it has a good base speed, especially behind webs. The Zapdos kind of walls it pretty well, but Zapdos will have to hit a Hurricane, and we'll see if that's going to happen. If the Regieleki is running Light Screen with Reflect, then I assume the Zapdos won't be able to even KO the Heracross because Heracross is super bulky, even though it is 4 times weak to the flying moves. What else could I point out here? Manaphy does not get access to Tail Glow, so that's not too big of a threat. I don't think Manaphy is going to be even coming this game, honestly, with access to Gastrodon, with Dracozolt coming in, and a Regieleki and a Whimsicott. It just doesn't seem too valuable to me. The Dragonite with the Sand Core is interesting, by the way, and it's similar to the Dragonite with the Hail Core that I had the last time around, except this Sand Core is a bit more, I'd say, likely to come than my Hail Core was in NCP. But regardless, it's still a very scary Pokemon to deal with. If it gets up a Dragon Dance, it could be game over depending on how late the game is, especially because you could expect something like Dual Wing Beat to be its stab move of choice, and then you can expect something like, I don't know, an Ice Punch to try to wear down the Zapdos, or maybe a Rock move, or whatever the case may be. So that's definitely a possibility as well. And yeah, that's the big thing. If I had to predict 6 Pokemon, I would say, we'll say Mawile, Zygarde, Zapdos are all really solid in this matchup just off the bat. I think the Fortress has a pretty big niche here, and the reason I say that is because it can spin away the webs or the rocks, which are going to be kind of plaguing something like the Marowak, which I also think will be coming. So that's 5 mons there. And then I would say Alakazam normally, but I just don't think it's going to be that valuable here in this matchup because of Skill Link Heracross and because of the Bisharp and also Dual Wing Beat on the Dragonite. Also Rock Blast on Gigalith, that's another thing. I'm going to say it's tough. I would say maybe something like Masquerain for his own webs would be cool. I think that could be a possibility. So yeah, we'll say this. We'll say Mawile, Zygarde, Zapdos, Alolan Marowak, Fortress, Masquerain. That's 6. And then for Sparrow, Heracross, Whimsicott are coming. I believe those are 2 really good brings. I believe the Sand Core is coming. That's 4 Pokemon we have there. I think Gastrodon is a really solid bring because it can kind of beat the Zygarde if it's not running a subtoxic set type of thing. So that's 5. And then honestly, Regieleki can really go in. Wow, there are triple electrics on this team. That's crazy. Anyways, Regieleki could definitely come to this matchup as well. I think it can really force a lot of problems, and if the Marowak or Zygarde goes down, then it'll just go in and demolish things. So those are the 6 I expect for Sparrow: Heracross, Whimsicott, Regieleki, the Sand Core, and then Gastrodon. Let's go ahead and jump into it, as I'm going to go ahead and make sure I have it open. There we go, and switch over. Boom, there we go. Okay, so I was right on Okay, I was right. I was right on one. I was right on Sparrow's part. That's good. I'll take that. In terms of for PV, I think I got 4 right. I only got 4 right. No Mega Mawile. Both teams have Mega Mawile on it, and they didn't bring them to both games. It didn't matter for one. We'll see if it matters for PV. But looking at this, I definitely think that, oh my god, Regieleki goes in. If Zygarde goes down, it is game over. Regieleki will just demolish things. The fact that it outspeeds everything, it's resisted by Roserade, but Roserade is not going to appreciate taking many hits. Roserade is actually, wow, Roserade is very, very good this matchup. I overlooked that. The fact that it, one, will outspeed Heracross, it does get extra sensory, by the way, to beat Heracross, or to try and at least do some damage to it. It walls Whimsicott for sure. That's definitely, that's 100%. It beats a Gigalith that, well, it depends on the Gigalith set, but it can beat Gigalith. It resists electric moves for Regieleki, and it hits the Gastrodon for 4 times effective damage with grass moves. That is solid. That's a really, really good way to get around a lot of this threat. So Roserade could be the MVP here. He may not even need the Zygarde to stay around to beat this team. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Let's see. In terms of leads, I'm going to say I think Zapdos is a really good lead here. The only thing it really doesn't appreciate is the Gastrodon and the Gigalith. And if it's running Toxic, I think honestly I would probably run Toxic. And if I had it, I would definitely want to go for that. You could definitely get Toxic back with the Whimsicott. That's a possibility, but I don't think Whimsicott's going to want to stay in on the Zapdos very often. So yeah, I think Zapdos is a good lead on PV's part, and on Sparrow's part, I'll say I think either Regieleki or Gigalith are good leads. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. See what's going to be leads here. And we see Masquerain and Gigalith. All right. So webs are going to come out. I imagine a Rocks. Okay, I thought Rock Blast was going to be the option here. Very surprising. A U-turn now. So if there was a Sash, it's broken now. That is good to know. But in comes the Manaphy. And there you go. That's a big problem here. Yeah, you got Rocks up, but you could also gotten a KO on something right away. And if you're not running Defog, it's another story. But you may want to make sure you don't have webs up on your side of the field for this game. But anyways, in comes the Gastrodon with a nice U-turn into the Roserade. Very nice. I'm going to make this slower. And the Leaf Storm comes out. Rendo Berry is not going to save this thing, is it? Oh, it will save it. And what's going to happen? Mirror Coat? Ice Beam. That's not going to do enough. That's unfortunate. So it looks like, yeah, I think the Gastrodon is going to go down here. There's really not much it can do. It's not going to be surviving anything as he goes for a Synthesis in the sand. And, oh, dude, you should have killed the Gastrodon. That's bad. Okay, if I'm Sparrows, I switch out here. So PV should have KO'd him there. He should have KO'd him there. There's no reason for him to keep it alive. But Ice Beam comes out again, and I'm just so surprised that he could have gotten rid of the Gastrodon. The Gastrodon could be the biggest pain in the ass now. But no Energy Balls can come out. So he got safe there. He got lucky that the fact that he didn't switch out of the Gastrodon there. That is huge. Wow. Okay, so I'm gonna pause here because there's a bit to unpack. So the fact that Sparrows was able to keep his Gastrodon around was massive for the Zygarde and for the Zapdos, because now Zapdos can just Volt Switch around or Thunderbolt or Discharge everything. That's completely fair for him. But that is so unfortunate. He got lucky that PV didn't get the KO on him right away and decided to Synthesis up in the sand nonetheless. It's unfortunate that he decided to sack that off after. PV should have definitely gotten the KO. That was a mistake in my opinion, but the fact that he was able to get the KO after with the Manaphy kind of righted that wrong, so good on him. We'll see what happens next here as the Regieleki comes in on the Manaphy. I imagine it's going to go hard into the Zygarde here. It completely walls Regieleki, so we'll see. Maybe a Rapid Spin comes out. We'll see, but it's going to switch out into the Zygarde. Is it going to be a Rapid Spin here? We'll see. It is going to be a Volt Switch. That is, yeah, this is the problem with Regieleki. It is so hard to beat ground types, and honestly, Zygarde could genuinely just win the game here. If he catches them with the Sludge Wave, is that going to be game? He subs instead. Okay, and I'm going to pause it here. One of the things I love to run against Zygarde when I have a Whimsicott, and I had Whimsicott in the league that I wasn't uploading, and I ran it against Zygarde. I run Infiltrator Whimsicott instead of Prankster. Now the reason we do that is because a subset is very viable. Now, it didn't work for me last time when I ran the set because I got Sludge Wave on the prediction, but this set, if it outspeeds, which it might not because of webs, Moonblast would come through and do a ton of damage to it. Again, we have to see, is it going to be outspeeding? And also, is it going to carry Sludge Wave with the Zygarde? If the Zygarde carries Sludge Wave, if it carries Sludge Wave, then it's missing out on either a setup move or 2 coverage options. It's going to have 1,000 arrows, we know that. So is it going to have Sludge Wave, or is it going to have a coverage move, plus maybe a Dragon move or something? We'll see. Resume, and Sludge Wave comes out. Dragon Dance. Okay, so I guess it doesn't have access to the okay, I guess it doesn't have access to Sludge Wave, and the fact that it went for the Moonblast there means Oh, Toxic. So he's definitely Prankster. Okay, we know he's Prankster there. And Zen Headbutt. Ooh, that's unfortunate. Zen Headbutt is your move of choice to hit the Whimsicott. And the fact that Zygarde's poison now, this game is going to turn heavily into Sparrow's favor. Oh wow. And there we go, 54%. Like right here, this is really bad for PV. The fact that Zygarde is going to go down, and yeah, he gets rid of the Whimsicott, and Zygarde still has a good bit of health, but that is super unfortunate. And I get the point, and I understand why. I understand why you decide to run the Zen Headbutt, because you want to hit the Heracross, especially with the Dragon Dance sub. But you can beat the Whimsicotts. You can't. If he Leaf Seeded you there, then he could have Leaf Seeded Protect and beat you. That's problematic. And now the fact that you're Toxic as well, that just means that, and if you are Toxic at like 80%, that's another story, but you're Toxic and at 16% now. Regieleki just comes in, it can Protect if it has it can just be annoying, or he can just say, all right, we'll go to something else, KO the Zygarde, and then deal with it after, and then deal with the rest of the team with the Regieleki. So we'll see what happens. Regieleki's back in, and webs are going to activate. Is there a Protect coming out to beat the Zygarde? There is not a Protect, but there's an Extreme Speed, and Extreme Speed does get the KO. Okay, so down goes the Zygarde. Extreme Speed, I don't see that often on Regielekis. We'll see, is it Scarf, is it Bandit, is it Specs, what is the case? It just switches out hard into Gigalith here. I imagine it does not have access to any removal, so there's going to be webs to deal with, as it makes a nice prediction going for the Toxic there. I imagine, honestly, I probably would have gone for Spikes and stuff, because looking at his team, it really doesn't appreciate Spikes now. It doesn't appreciate getting Hazard Stack. But Body Press is going to come out and doing absolutely nothing to the Fortress. Unfortunate. This Fortress looks like it may be a really big wall, and setting up 3 layers of Spikes against it could be very bad, as it goes for a Curse. If this is running Rest, which we know it's not. We know it's not. It's Curse, Body Press, Rock Blast, and Stealth Rock. If this was running Rest, if it would have been very, very bad for PV, because honestly, in Sand, nothing appreciates it. But it's going to drop here to the next layer, next hit. But at this point in time, next hit of Toxic is going to KO it, right? Yeah, it does. So at this point in time, there's full hazards up. Full hazards. Rocks, Spikes, Webs, and only 3 turns left to Sand. Look at this. -1, 24 from... Oh my god. It took 40% basically. That's crazy. Fire Fan comes out, gets the KO on the Fortress. Now here's the thing. A lot of people assume that Sand with Webs works in a certain way. I'll explain how it works. So with Sand up, you'll get to +2. All right, your speed. Let me rephrase that. With Sand up, you don't get to +2. You go to ×2. Your speed is doubled, not increased by 2 stages. So when your speed is lowered by 1 stage, it goes down, and then it gets doubled. It doesn't count as being +1. So for example, if there's a Dracozolt, let's say it has 100 base speed. In Sand, it's at 200 base speed. And then if you're under Webs, you lose 1 stage. All right, we know it's not a half. We know it's about a quarter of its speed. So it'll be at 75, let's say, and then ×2 will be 150. All right, that's kind of how it works in a way, but it doesn't work exactly. It doesn't work exactly as being if you have Webs up, if you're under the influence of Webs, and then you're in Sand, it doesn't count as being +2 speed. It's a different calculation than that. So play around with the damage calc on Showdown. You'll be able to see what I mean, and that'll let you know what it is. But regardless, the Masquerade's gonna come in. It's gonna be affected by the Intimidate. And it looks like it is Boots. It is Boots Masquerade. Fire Fang's going to come out, and it survives. Again, it gets the burn, which isn't going to matter too much, I don't believe, as a Toxic comes out. Yeah, it doesn't matter at all. And at this point, there's going to be 1 more turn of Sand left. And I imagine, I'm surprised to not see a Bolt Beat come out. I guess it must be Banded. It probably is Banded, to be honest, the fact that it just continues to attack. Unless who knows, unless it might be Scarf. But I think it's going to be Banded here, as it's going to be outsped now by the Manaphy, and Manaphy's going to be able to go for the Ice Beam, get the KO on that. So it's 2-3, but there is a Regieleki, and Regieleki could be very, very scary. It's not Boots, and if it was Boots, then there might be a chance, but it looks like it's going to be Specs or something. Thunderbolt comes out, gets the KO on the Manaphy, and I assume the Roserade's going to come back in, and Roserade should be able to clean this up for him, honestly. Like, I would assume he goes hard into the Heracross, but he doesn't. And we're going to see here, a Leaf Storm comes out, gets the KO. So I think Leaf Storm would have still KO'd through another layer, but that's going to be game, it looks like to me. Unless there's a missed Hurricane, I think it's going to be game over here. But we'll see what happens. He could always just switch out and come back in and just get the KO after the fact. But he's going to Mega Evolve here. He's going to fire off the Synthesis. Not the right decision in my opinion, because Rock Blast or Pin Missile, yeah, right there. Pin Missile is going to get the KO. So I don't understand why that was the case, but it is what it is. I think that was just a sack at that point, but you could have just gotten more damage off to make the point where that Discharge would KO. But we're going to see here, Hurricane comes out. It does connect, and it does go down. And it's a Life Orb Zapdos. So definitely right there. I think, like, GG to both teams. I think this is a really cool battle. I will say this, I think PV had opportunities in this game to win bigger than this and to win safer, because if he missed the Hurricane there, Hurricane was 70% chance. If he missed the Hurricane there, he would have lost the game to a Rock Blast. If he had Discharge, then the play with the Rosary would have been to just get as much damage as possible off on the Heracross, excuse me, and then get the KO with the Discharge. Right there. I think the misplays around with the Zygarde were unfortunate, but it did end up hurting him. Not getting the KO on the Gastron, again, it didn't end up hurting him, but it was unfortunate. Got to keep an eye on that. Notice what is there, what's important, what you need to get rid of for your team to have success. Because honestly, once the Gastron went down, Zapdos, especially being Life Orb, I can't imagine it didn't have an electric move. Could just come in, click the electric moves, click electric move, click electric move, and gone to work. And because you had access to webs, the Dracozolt wasn't going to be that big of a problem. You could always just get the Masquerain and weaken its attack and come back in with something else like the Zygarde, especially if you find out that it's banded. Yeah. Regardless, I think this was a good learning experience for both teams. Let me know which game you guys preferred the most. I definitely think the other battle, this one here with Froxy with the Zoroark sweep was really, really cool. Awesome to see. But I think both games were really fun. This one here more from a learning perspective. We saw one team get completely hazard stacked, and that caused a lot of problems for them. Their team only had rocks up, took the hazards, and didn't really have to deal with them too much. It was pretty good. So yeah, guys, that is going to be it for this battle, this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to like on the video, comment your thoughts on the battle down below, and I'm hoping that we can have another really good game of the week next week for week number 5. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, if you did, leave a like on the video, comment your thoughts down below, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and I will see you guys all next time.